Hey staff, welcome back to another great year here at Hastings High School. We're excited about the school year. We're trying something a little bit different where a lot of you teachers are flipping your classroom to provide information in a different format. We want to be respectful of people's time, and especially those that have been with us a long time who find these policies to be in the back of their minds and know where they are. And for new people, it might be a little more. So let's get started with what we have here. I'm going to be looking at the handbook on just a few items. On page 17, you will find that we have a registration calendar, and it's just good for you to know that the registration is already planned and ready to go. We really won't start into anything specifically until after January, but if you are looking to plan for field trips, if you're looking to plan for a different kind of tests, this will have a good spot in there, and again, that's on page 17. If you were to look to page 23, there's some really good information just about relationships with students, why we have certain policies, why we do certain things here at Hastings High School. For many of the staff that are here, know the importance of discipline to make sure that we're consistent and following up in a kind manner, the golden rule to treat other people as we would ourselves. And there's also information here about final exams, having common finals, our process for makeup work. We encourage teachers to directly communicate with their students and parents to communicate with teachers. We really do not collect homework here in the main office. There might be one or two unique situations in which we do that, but we find that the communication is best served between the student, the parent, and the teacher. There also is information about attendance. We take attendance very seriously here at Hastings High School. All of our students matter, and we want to make sure that they know that. And another piece with communication, make sure that we're following up with parents, especially if they're in danger, students are in danger of failing. On page 32, there is a policy on staff being out of the building. And really what we want staff to do, just like students, is we want you to check in and check out. And if you have a prep hour, which is always a good time to get something done or to run and get supplies or make a short, quick trip somewhere, make sure that you swing by or email the main office. And that can be Lynn, Sue, or myself. The other piece is that if you are on a field trip, make sure that you're entering that in on ASAP, even if you don't need a sub. The reason for this is we want to know where you are in case something happens. And believe it or not, there are times that we don't know as an office, or a colleague may not know if you're out doing some work or doing something personal on prep time. And if we have a situation where a family member or someone needs to get a hold of you, we just want to make sure that we know where you are. But you'll find that on page 32. If you look at page 45, you will notice that there is a breakdown by principal of our responsibilities. And it's just meant to be exactly what it is, a quick list, knowing that you have this in the handbook where you can look at who is responsible for the dances, who's responsible for Snow Week. It's something as principals we talk about each year, and that way you have a list of what people are doing specifically. If you turn the page, you will notice that you will have counselors and the counseling office staff also delineating their duties. We all want to be helpful. We all have can find a way to make sure that you get what you need, but it's also nice to be able to turn to a handbook to say who has that information. And the last thing I'll just touch on is the acceptable use policy for staff, which is found on page 105. And this really is the guidebook that we have for staff in terms of what's appropriate and not appropriate use of equipment. I think we all know that, but we also need to make sure that there's a pretty high standard for expectations that our school district has for us when we use technology. We certainly don't want to have any inappropriate uses. And then it gets a little blurry with social media. We do recommend that you not friend people in a Facebook setting and use Schoology. Oh, darn it. However, we also know that Twitter can be very, very effective for just getting something out about a change in practice or something like that. So please, that's the boss, so I got to take this phone call. So, hey folks, thanks everyone. We appreciate that, and we want to make sure we go Raiders. We'll see you at our workshops coming up. Have a great day.